Okay, so in the last lecture, we have started a basic introduction of the department as well as the myself, right? So we have gone through the vision, mission of the department, institute, then program educational objectives, program outcome, program specific outcomes, and we have started with our syllabus, our course, object-oriented programming with C++. Also, we have discussed yesterday how we are going to go with the syllabus during the course of this completion of the syllabus. See, we have one lecture and two practicals, but 2 hours of practicals. But in the online mode of teaching, we will combine this lecture and practical when we will learn one concept. Okay, for every concept, we will have this hands-on sessions. I will give some time for you to implement a program. If you have any query, you can ask me within that time, and then we will move to the next concept. Okay, so it will be like continuous programming practice. So yesterday, as like I discussed, we don't have any theory paper. We have 25 marks of term work and 50 marks for the external examination. So for this, to prepare for this term work as well as the external, you need to prepare one separate notebook for the subject object-oriented programming with C++. See, when you go to the final year, so obviously you are going to look for the placement, and for placement, like there are certain technical questions on this programming aspect. So it is, I think it is difficult to remember all those things. So better you should note it down in the separate notebook, and when the times come, you just go through the notes, which will be sufficient for you to answer the questions. Okay. Ete Lakshat, are you understanding this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everyone, you prepare a separate notebook for the subject. Okay. So I will move to next. As per our triple P pattern, so we have several points like about title of the subject, then about central idea of the subject, importance of the subject in the engineering. Okay, now we'll go with one by one about title. See, now as we have gone through the problem solving, right, the subject. Now there we have seen the definition of program. So can anybody tell me the definition of the program? Hello. Hello.
Group of code with perform specific task.
Group of, yes, I forget. Group of
Coding lines which perform a specific task.
Okay. See, instead of like having a group of code, you can say set of instructions. Okay. Every line in the programming language, it gives a certain instruction, whether it declares, it will be a kind of a declaration or the definition. Okay. It's a instruction. When we have a set of instruction to execute certain tasks, so all those set of instructions or this part, we call it as a program. After execution of this program, we will get like output of that the particular task. Okay, and now here what we are looking for, object oriented. Okay, now can you tell me what is object? Yes, anyone? Let it be, don't worry about like assuming whether it will be right or wrong. बरोबर असेल किंवा चूक असेल. So don't worry about it. Just tell me, what do you understand with the word object? Object म्हणजे काय? ऑब्जेक्ट कशाला म्हणतात? Maybe you have learned this term object in computer graphics, if you remember. See, object is we called it as an entity or any particular thing, like a chalk, then a table, a chair. This is what object. कुठल्याही एका वस्तूला काय म्हणतो आपण? Object. Now what we are looking here for, object oriented. See, object, that means a particular thing. Here we are going to look, we are going to perform a set of instructions, and by using this C++. Before C++, we have gone through the C. Now why the name is given as C++? There are certain C++ हे नाव का दिले? If you remember the history of C program चे जर तुम्हाला हिस्ट्री आठवत असेल, so before C there is a B language, before B language there is a BPCL language, right? So there are some enhancement happening in the programming, or you can say the keyword set. It become rich and rich, and due to this advancement in the like the keyword set, the program that programming languages term differently. Like the first one is the BPCL, then we have next one is B language, then we have gone through with C language. Now there are certain advancement in the C programming language, so we called it as a C++. Now there is again like a trade-off. See, C++ C language कशी develop झाली? Based on the concept of C language, but it has some more features. So also it C language is called it as a extension to the C language. Okay, C language ला अजून काय म्हणतात? Extension of C language. त्याच्यासाठी अजून एक कीवर्ड आहे. Okay, extended C. Okay, so to remove this conflict, the term is coined it as C++. And do you know what does it means? Plus म्हणजे काय सांगा C मध्ये? Hello.
Increment.
Correct. Now see, if you go through this C++, C increments. That means there are certain additions in the C program. Okay, in the keyword set, or you can say the concepts which we have learned in the C program. So there are certain increments, and what are those? This object oriented program. Okay, and we will come to know what are the object oriented features. We are going to look here in the C language, C++ language. But like this plus you should know, it indicates the increment in the C. Okay, so it is easy to remember. Now if there is a question whether C, okay, whether C is ancestor of C++ or C++ is an ancestor of C. Yes, can you tell me which one is correct?
C is the ancestor.
Correct. With this plus you can easily come to know. So just I'm giving the hint to you. If you are in the like confusion, C language adi ahe ki C++. So you can simply remember plus, that means it increments म्हणजे C++ हे नंतर असणार आहे. Okay, in a logical way. Okay, so that is about this title. Now about central idea. Okay, now if you go through this syllabus, see the first unit is concept of OOP. OOP means object oriented programming. It's a shortcut in the computer science, or you can say in IT industries. You are not going to heard about object oriented program complete word. It termed it as OOPS concept. Okay. If you go through the YouTube videos or any expert lectures on a programming, so you maybe heard about OOPS concept. So OOPS is nothing but object oriented programming. It's a short form and it is very famous, double OP, OOPS. Okay. So this is about we are going to understand the basic OOPS. In second unit, we are going to start with implementation of C programming. Then again, we will see how functions are implemented in C++, array and string with C++. And now from here, from in section 2, we are going to learn the exact implementations of object-oriented features like encapsulation, inheritance, then the public and private class members. Okay, likewise. So the object and classes, inheritance, stream files. Okay, so these three are the chapters from second section. So total we have 4 chapters in section 1, which looks only in line with C programming, and from section 2 it completely focused on the OOPS features, object oriented features for the C++. Okay, so this is about the central idea of the syllabus. And now the importance of subject. Now maybe you are worried about this is a programming subject and we have taken admission for the electrical engineering. बरोबर का? Hello.
Yes.
हा, काही जणांना डाऊट आलाय का हा की आम्ही इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजिनियर आहे and why we should learn this C++ language? आलाय की नाही आला?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, basically you should not only like think about this way. We are in the electrical engineering branch. If you have gone through the syllabus of your third year electrical engineering, final electrical engineering, so there are certain practical subject. Okay, so you need to implement the practicals. Now for everywhere, okay, for everywhere, when you are moving, like you should be in a position to compare all those things, how I'm going to use those programming concept to implement or to solve the problems. See, you have a MATLAB software. So again, there you need to do some coding part, and for coding part, if you know the basic structure, see this C language, C++ language, it is very close to your microprocessor. Okay, we also call it as a system level programming languages. So as like of your microprocessor programming or very high speed integrated circuit. So for that to make work, so we have to write some program, system level programs. And for those system level programs, this C and C++ language are widely used in the world. And because of this only, this course, object oriented programming with C++ is added in your syllabus. So make it sure असं नाही की you belongs to electrical engineer and you are learning the programming language. You have to understand the concept, and those concept like MATLAB, there is a alternative software. For MATLAB you can write a code, but for that you should know the data types. You should know the memory management system of with these variables or the data types. Then what are the conditions are there, like control statement, if, how to use if else, and other conditional statements, control statements. Okay, so for this understanding, this course is kept in your syllabus. Okay, is it clear to you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will move to next point, that is course objective. See, for the subject, some objectives are set, and we are expecting some outcomes at the end of this course, right? So for that, we have set some objectives like every student should learn the fundamental concept and principle of object-oriented programming with basic of C++ syntax and the convention. Also, you called it as a syntax and the semantics of C++ program. Second, to apply the OOP concept for writing a simple object-oriented programs. First, to understand, and second, based on the understanding, you should implement some basic programs. And what we expect from you at the end of after completion of the syllabus. So you should be able to read, understand, and analyze a particular C++ program. The student will be able to apply principle of OOP concept and explore their skills to develop complex C++ program, not only a simple. Also, we add some more complexity to the programs. You should able to write a simple object-oriented programs in C++ using objects and the classes. And lastly, you should develop some application using object-oriented program with C++ language, right? At the end of this, I'm expecting you should be able to develop some like a library management system or attendance management system for the class. Okay, so this objective and the outcome we have set, and we will reach to that outcomes. Okay, so every student will able to write a program and like perform the or develop the certain applications. So we are going to look during this course of syllabus. Okay, so now I will go in detail with the syllabus. Concepts of object-oriented programming. Here we are going to look for what is OOP, what is procedural versus object-oriented programming, the principles of object-oriented programming, benefit and the applications of object-oriented programming. Now, first tell me whether C programming language, whether it is a procedural language or object-oriented language. Yes, anyone? Can you tell me whether C is a procedural language or object-oriented language? Yes, anyone?
Procedural.
Correct. C is a procedural language. Remember this part. Why we called it as a procedural? Because it execute in a procedure. That means what is the procedure? One after the other. If I'm like I'm at the first place, my next fellow will be at the second, the next fellow will be at the third, and it execute in that fashion only. That means a first line it will execute at the first, the second line will execute later, third line will execute at the last. Okay, in a sequential manner. So we call this term it as a procedural. And what we are going to look in the C++, that is nothing but object oriented. So we are going to see what is the difference between procedural and object oriented programming. Okay, so this is about first. Then we have in a second what we are going to implement. So there we are going to implement a basic program structure as like of a program structure for C program. So what is the basic structure here in the C++ program? What is namespace, identifiers, variables, constant, enumerators? This is a shortcut, enum. It called it as a enumerators. Operators, typecasting. Typecasting म्हणजे if I'm having an integer and if I wish to read it as a character, then how I should convert integer to character. So this change in the type, we call it as a typecasting. Then control structure. Third unit, concept of C, C++ and OOPS. So all things are here in the third as a basic understanding of the function. The contents are simple function. Here we have gone through in the introductory part of our syllabus yesterday, call and return by reference. This is new part, inline functions, macro versus inline function, overloading of the function, default augmentation, and the friend function. So this part, it is new to you. This simple function call by value, call by reference, that we have seen in the previous year. Also, we'll have some examples on this as well. In the fourth unit, array and string. Again, the basics of array. Array as a class member, array of object, C string, array of strings, C++ string class, modifying string objects. Okay, as these are what related to string. So can you tell me what are the different functions are used in the C program related with string? String manipulation करण्यासाठी, that means string जर जोडायचे असतील, then रिव्हर्स करायचे असेल तर त्याच्यासाठी कुठले फंक्शन्स यूज करतो आपण सी मध्ये?
strarray.
String compare, strcmp, strcpy. If you have remember this function, I will write it here in bracket. Okay, I will change the font color to red. Now check strcpy. Have you remember this? Have you remember this inbuilt function? strcmp, strcat. Okay, this strcpy, it is for copy one string to other string variable. strcmp, it means it used to compare the two different string. strcat, it is used to join the two different string, concatenation. Okay, so these are what basic functions, inbuilt functions used here in the C programs. And there are like what we are going to look extra here as array of string. The C++ string class, from where these functionalities are going to be retrieved in the program. Okay, so this is about fourth unit. In the fifth unit, we are having object and classes. So here we are going to look the basics of object and class in the C++. Now there are again like private and public members as like of the variable. Variable मध्ये पण दोन types आहेत. If you remember, local variable and global variable. Here the terminology is used. Instead of local, we call it as a private, and instead of global, we call it as a public. Okay, private and public म्हणजे हे काही वेगळं नाही. It is similar as like our local and variable. Local, what does it means? The scope of variable is limited within only that loop. We called it as a local. And what is public? Throughout the program, that variable can be accessed throughout the program. So we called it as a public or global variable. Okay. So again, we'll just, I'm summarizing it. We'll go in detail when we'll start this chapter. Static data and function members, constructor and their types, destructors, operator overloading, and type conversions. So typecasting part. Inheritance. Okay, this is very important concept. mostly the question from this at the time of interviews, mostly the questions are there from this part, inheritance. Okay, when you reach to the final year, so while preparing the interview, you should go with this chapter, inheritance. The concept of inheritance, different types of inheritance like single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical. Okay, so these are the different types of inheritance, and how it implements, we will see with multiple examples of this each type. Okay, just I will give a hint. Inheritance, so instead of reading a complete word, just read only this word, inherit. So can anybody tell me what is the meaning of this inherit? Yes, can anybody tell me what is the meaning of inherit?
It is coming from previous things.
Correct. And this is what the concept, right? There is nothing much more than this. Inheritance, that means we are using the properties of some other, like here we called it as a class. In our example, you can take the example of parent and child. So parent has their own properties, but that kid is going to have certain properties which is inherited from their parents. Like take an example of blood group. Like if a parent, both mother and father, if they are having like O positive blood group, the kid will be of O positive. If like mother is having O positive, father is having A positive, the kid will possess either A positive or O positive. That means their kid is like what? It inherits some properties, some features from what? Their parents. The same concept is here, single inheritance, how we are going to inherit from one part to other. Multiple, that means we are going to use the same properties from different. Again, multi-level, it is from the different. Hierarchical is combination of this multiple and multi-level. Okay. Now, can you tell me the difference between these two words, multiple and multi-level? Multiple आणि multi-level मध्ये difference काय असेल? Can you guess? Or both are the same? Yes, can anybody tell me? Is there any difference between multiple and multi-level? Anyone? Let it be, it goes wrong. Don't worry about it. But what do you think about multiple and multi-level? You can tell me. We'll have this discussion. Yes, anyone? Okay. Can I explain?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, I will just draw something here. This structure, we called it as a multiple. And this structure, we called it as a multi-level. समझते हैं क्या?
Yes, sir.
See, again I will write, this is a super part, and here also we are having one super, right? Okay, now it has these multiple properties. This is multiple, so single box, it has a multiple, but here it has multi-level. That means it goes to this way, again it goes to the second, and it goes to third. Okay, so it is in the, like, one is other and other is again depend on the other, and other is to the previous one. So this structure, this kind of structure, we call it as a level part, and this is a different, that is what we called it as a multiple. Multi-level, it is one after the other. Multiple, separate. Okay, and hierarchical, it is a combination of both. Okay, so we'll come to that when we will go deep into that chapter. Okay, and the last unit is streams and files. So the unit contents are like, we are going to look for the stream. What is stream class? As like of our printf and printf and scanf. So here we are using the cin and cout for input value and to display the output. Okay, this function cin and cout objects, C++ stream class, unformatted and formatted input output operations, manipulators, file streams, C++ file stream class, file management functions, file modes, binary and random files. So altogether, this chapter is talking about how you are going to store data into the file and how you are going to retrieve the data from that file. Okay, a summary of this chapter. Okay, well,